Welcome back to Lions News Fan Report, where every day we dive deep into everything you need to know about your Detroit Lions. If you're passionate about football, about grit, about a team that's rewriting its legacy, then you're definitely in the right place. Today's story, it's huge. It's personal. It's about pain, perseverance, and what could be the most critical comeback of the year for the Lions. We're talking about Aiden Hutchinson, and not just any update, but the one that could define the entire upcoming season. Now, if you're a Lions fan, or even just a football fan who's been paying attention, you remember the exact moment it happened. You remember how the energy completely shifted when Hutchinson went down. It was one of those plays where everything looked so normal until it didn't. 1 second he's flying off the edge, doing what he does best, terrorizing the quarterback. And the next second, he's on the ground, not moving the way you'd expect, grabbing his leg, and you just knew. You just knew it wasn't good. And for the Lions, it was a gut punch in the worst possible way. Not just because Hutchinson is one of the most talented players on the roster, but because he embodies everything this team stands for right now. Toughness, relentlessness, heart. His injury, a fractured leg, was a brutal reminder that no matter how much momentum you build, everything can change in an instant. When the official reports confirmed the fracture, it sent shockwaves through the entire Lions community. How long would he be out? Would he need surgery? Would he miss next season too? There were more questions than answers in those first few days. And while the team rallied and finished the regular season on a historic tear, earning a 15-2 record and securing the #1 seed, everyone knew deep down they were doing it without their best defensive player. Every sack, every third down stop felt like it was missing just a little extra spark. And when they finally fell short in the playoffs, getting stunned by the Commanders, it was impossible not to wonder, would the outcome have been different if number 97 was out there wreaking havoc? But here's the thing about setbacks. They reveal character. And in the months that followed, Hutchinson showed everyone exactly what kind of player and person he really is. No excuses. No public complaints. Just quiet, relentless work. Reports started to trickle out, Hutchinson attacking his rehab sessions like he was preparing for the Super Bowl, pushing himself harder than the doctors even recommended, focusing not just on healing his leg, but on becoming an even more complete player. Film study, upper body work, mental reps, all of it. And then came the update we had all been waiting for. Out of nowhere at the Masters golf tournament, because of course Hutchinson, the competitor that he is, can't even take a relaxing weekend without thinking about getting better, he dropped the bomb. I'm there. I would say I'm good. Those 5 words sent a ripple of hope across the Lions fan base. It wasn't just optimism. It wasn't just wishful thinking. It was Hutchinson, looking calm, focused, and confident, letting the world know he's ready. He went on to explain that he still had a few more tests to complete, a few final steps to clear before being fully released. But make no mistake, this isn't a guy hoping he might be ready by training camp. This is a guy who's aiming to be at full throttle before OTAs even get into full swing. A guy who wants to hit the ground running, not just as a participant, but as a dominant force. And you know what? It changes everything. Because when you talk about Hutchinson, you're talking about a defensive end who doesn't just rack up stats, although the stats are mind-blowing. In just 39 career games, he's already stacked up 122 tackles, 28.5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, 4 fumble recoveries, 4 interceptions, and 10 passes defended. Those numbers aren't just good, they're historic. They put him on a trajectory toward being one of the most feared defenders of his generation. But it's more than numbers. It's the way he plays. The engine that never stops. The violence in his hands. The bend around the edge. The way he diagnoses plays before they even develop. It's the leadership, the passion, the belief he instills in the guys around him. Without Hutchinson, Detroit's defense was good last season. Very good, in fact. But with him back, they could be elite. They could be the kind of defense that doesn't just hold teams to low scores but breaks their will over 4 quarters. Imagine it, Aiden Hutchinson roaring off the edge, Ala McNeil clogging up the middle, Brian Branch lurking in the secondary ready to pounce. Add in Detroit's free agent acquisitions and a strong draft class, and suddenly you're looking at a defense that could go toe-to-toe with the best offenses in the league. And more than that, a defense that could close games. Something Detroit struggled with late last year. There's also the psychological side to think about. Opposing quarterbacks know when Hutchinson is on the field. They feel him. They rush throws. They hear footsteps. They make mistakes they wouldn't normally make. Having Hutchinson healthy again isn't just about sacks and tackles for loss. It's about creating chaos, about making offenses uncomfortable from the very first snap to the final whistle. And let's not overlook the potential for Hutchinson to make a massive personal leap too. He's talked openly about wanting to be one of the greats, about studying guys like J.J. Watt, T.J. Watt, and Myles Garrett. And now, after facing real adversity, after pushing through an intense and grueling recovery, he's coming back sharper, smarter, and hungrier than ever. There's a real chance that this injury, as painful as it was, becomes the catalyst for Hutchinson's ascension into superstardom. Could we be looking at a future Defensive Player of the Year? Could Hutchinson join the ranks of all-time great pass rushers? The foundation is there. The drive is there. And now the storyline is there too. The comeback story that fans and media alike absolutely love to rally around. Of course, there will be hurdles. Getting back into football shape after a major injury isn't easy, no matter how hard you work. There could be rust. There could be mental hurdles, trusting that repaired leg, making that first violent cut off the edge, throwing himself fully into contact without hesitation. It might not be seamless. But if anyone's built to overcome those challenges, it's Aiden Hutchinson. And Lions fans, they've been through enough to know better than to doubt someone who refuses to quit. So here we are, standing on the edge of something special. Hutchinson is almost fully cleared. The Lions are loaded with talent. The city of Detroit is buzzing with belief in a way we haven't seen in decades. Everything is lining up. But now comes the hard part, turning potential into reality, finishing the job. And you have to believe that Hutchinson, the guy who never takes a play off, who never stops fighting, who now knows exactly how fast it can all be taken away, is going to do everything in his power to make sure this story has the ending we've all been dreaming of. But what about you? Are you ready to see Hutchinson come back better than ever? Do you think this is the year Detroit finally gets over the hump? Let's hear it in the comments, because honestly, this could be the start of something legendary. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to Lions News Fan Report, and turn on notifications so you never miss any of our daily Lions coverage. We're just getting started. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss a second of what's coming next. Until next time, one pride, and go Lions.